Hey there, everyone. Michael Karunas here from Central Christian Church, and we are pleased to announce that this Sunday we are opening our building again to in-person activities, especially Sunday morning worship. Now, the first thing to remember is that our schedule is a little different now for the next few weeks. 8 o'clock traditional worship is still online only. Our 9 o'clock contemporary service is moving to 9:15 a.m. and will be in person and Facebook Live. And then our 10:30 traditional service will be in person and live stream. So if you can't make it or don't feel comfortable yet coming back to in-person activities, we have not forgotten you and we'll still be broadcasting everything throughout Sunday morning. When you do come, if you do choose to come, you'll be checking in through the west entrance here where I'm standing. And the first thing you'll do is you'll come to this table. There'll be 2 volunteers checking you in here. You'll get your temperature taken. 100 degrees and under is welcome in the building. Wash your hands. You'll be disinfecting your hands. Someone will sign you in. And then we are asking everybody to wear a mask for their travel through the building until you get into the worship area. So if you don't have your own mask, we have a basket for you here. When you're coming to worship then, after the check-in table, if you're going upstairs to traditional, you'll just look for the usher at the narthex doors and they will seat you. You'll be seated from the front of the church to the back of the church, and every other row will be roped off. If you're going to contemporary worship downstairs, the same thing. There'll be an usher down there, and they will seat you from the front to the back. At both services, on your way into the worship space, you will pick up a prepackaged communion kit that has the wafer and the grape juice in it. So we'll be serving ourselves communion, and there'll be no tray pass or moving around during the worship service. When you get to the worship space and you're in your socially designated seating, again, upstairs, every other pew is roped off. Downstairs, the seats are in pre-arranged seating areas. Once you're in your seating area, then you are able to take off your mask. We only ask that you put it back on when you're traveling back out of the building after worship. We are going to refrain at this time from using the nursery. There'll be no Sunday school. We are not doing van driving yet to transport people to worship. Also, during the worship service, we are going to refrain from congregational singing. That means that the praise band downstairs and the chancel, the song leaders upstairs, will still be singing, but we're going to encourage people to just listen and receive that as a gift and a blessing instead of participating in the way that we have typically done. We're not going to have printed material, no worship bulletins, and no connect sheets downstairs for our contemporary service, but that's fine. We'll be giving all the verbal cues necessary from the chancellor from the stage. The downstairs contemporary service will still have the screens, so everything will be shown on the screens. We'll still do responsive readings and calls to worship in that way. When you use the restroom, we're only going to use the restrooms in the Friendship Center and downstairs in the Heritage Center. There's signs on the bathrooms. We're only going to have 2 people at a time in the bathrooms upstairs and 1 person at a time in the bathrooms downstairs. After worship, the ushers will dismiss everyone from the back of the worship area to the front of the worship area. And again, before you stand up and move back out of the building, we're going to ask you to put your mask back on. We're not serving coffee and or refreshments after the worship service, so you're going to be encouraged to move directly out of the building. We know that everybody wants to see their friends and to visit, and we certainly understand and encourage that. We're just going to ask you to do that outside of the building where it's safer to do that kind of mingling, either under the canopy or on the west or south sides of the building. So that's it. If you have any questions, certainly email us, call us during office hours, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. But we look forward to seeing you back in person whenever you're ready and comfortable to do that. Take care.